I'm joined by Ohio Dominican softball head coach Marcella Vanlandingham in preparation for the Panthers' 2017 season. Marcella, last year the squad finished 25-27, but you won 7 of your last 8 contests. Talk about the way the girls closed the year and what are your expectations for the team coming into this season?
I definitely think we had a strong finish. I think a lot of that had to do, in large part, with the 4 seniors and the leadership that they gave us down the stretch. That certainly helped. So as far as going into this year, obviously we're a little bit younger than what we started last season with, but I think we've got some players that can help us out. So the expectation doesn't really change from year to year. We're still looking to get the most out of the players that we have, and the expectation is to get us back to the GLIAC conference tournament and get in there and see what you can do at the end of the season, and hope that you're playing your best softball that time of year.
In last season's 2 categories that the team really ranked highly in were hits and stolen bases. 5th in the conference in hits last year, 2nd in stolen bases. You were 8th in runs. What are some of the keys for taking advantage of those on-base opportunities a little bit better here in 2017?
Well, I think we definitely have to capitalize on, our leadoff and Taylor Klein and getting her on, and her ability to get into scoring position certainly helps our team. Last year we had a lineup, because of injuries and some things like that. We had to build our lineup with, surrounding a couple lefty slappers. Who that's really just not their forte is driving in runs. Their job is to get on base, and they certainly did a great job of doing that and getting on base. But I think we've got to have some more players in the middle of the lineup step up offensively, and that just takes a little bit different mentality out of a player who can handle those pressure situations with runners in scoring position and be able to come up with a quality at bat and get some runs across, push some runs across. So that's definitely a priority for us. Offense is definitely a priority, and being able to be effective and efficient offensively is certainly something that we've focused on and we've talked to our players about.
And certainly one of the biggest factors for the team getting on base last year was the outstanding play of Taylor Klein. Taylor returns for her junior year this season after leading the GLIAC in stolen bases last year with 41. She also ranked 2nd in the conference in batting average with a 446. Talk a little bit about the play of Taylor and what she means to the team.
Absolutely. I mean, she's an unbelievable talent. Great player, great teammate. You don't have the opportunity as a coach. You don't get the opportunity to coach players with her skills set every day. They don't come along every day. Obviously, speed doesn't usually slump, so that's a good thing unless they're injured. She can run and runs really well. Has a great ability to get on base. The other thing that really impressed me last year about her was she came up in a lot of clutch situations and drove in runs for us. And again, that's not something that all lefties can do. Lefty slappers can do. That's just not part of their game. But she really worked on that, and she was probably one of our most productive players with runners in scoring position. So we're certainly look for her to have another great year. I think our team feeds off of her. She kind of has just a really quiet confidence about her, especially offensively. When she's in the box, I think everybody in that dugout believes that she's going to get on base, and you know what she can do once she gets on base. I mean, she can get herself into scoring position, so that makes it take some pressure off and makes it a little bit easier actually for hitters. You don't have to do. It's a lot easier to score somebody that's already in scoring position, 2nd, 3rd base, than it is from first. So it takes a little pressure off of them and allows them and frees them up, not to put so much pressure to get a job done. A little base hit, a little bloop to the outfield certainly scores her from 2nd base.
And certainly, the future is bright here at Ohio Dominican. You have a fairly young squad, 2 seniors, Kelly Wallace and Casey Murdoch. You have 4 juniors, 4 sophomores, 7 freshmen on the roster. What are your expectations for 1, your seniors, and 2, some of the younger players on the team?
Well, those seniors certainly have to step up, and they certainly have to show some leadership here and give some guidance to those younger players. They've got to be the players that we rely on, and they've got to be the players that we look to in those clutch situations. That doesn't mean that they're the only ones that are going to come up in those situations, but when they do get the opportunities, they need to come through for us, obviously. As far as the young players, yeah, we've got a handful of players that are freshmen and sophomore that are going to get some opportunities just starting in that sophomore class. I mean, Abby Lamping did a great job coming in last year and giving us innings on the mound, did a great job. Kelly Mix was injured last year. She didn't make it back until the very end of the season and just wasn't 100% after trying to rehab and come back from an ACL injury earlier in the fall. So now with a full year under her belt and healthy and ready to go, I'm looking for her to step up and contribute for us. She's a strong offensive player that has the ability to drive runs in. So having her in the lineup, I think, will certainly help. And then there are a few freshmen that need to do the same thing. We're certainly going to call on Cameron Barber and Taylor Farmer to throw some innings for us and give us some innings on the mound. When they're not on the mound, they're going to probably be in the outfield, which means we need their bats in the lineup. Cam being a left-handed hitter, I think that adds something, to our lineup that we haven't had in the last couple of years, having, some strong left-handed batters in the lineup. And then Landry Slider is a great player behind the plate. She's got a great arm, quick release. She can really shut down the running game of a team that likes to steal and do those kinds of things. She can also play some third and hits pretty well as well. And then Brooklyn Rayburn, another freshman who hasn't played a lot of outfield, but we're gonna put her in the outfield, and she's gonna have to hold down the position in center field. Very athletic, very hard worker. Has made a really good transition from being an everyday infield player at the high school level to now working her way into the outfield and learning that as well. So she's done a great job out there so far. So those players are going to have to step up for us. I mean, there are going to be opportunities for them the entire season, and hopefully they're ready to take advantage of those opportunities.
Marcella Vanlandingham, thank you very much, Coach. Good luck
Thank
this
you.
year.